Just to be upfront and clear, there is no clickbait going on here. The title is accurate. I basically combined Black Ops 2 Origins' hardest challenges and did them all in one single game. This was my best zombies challenge to date and something I'm very proud of achieving, so where better to begin than the beginning. For the Reverse a Rainbow perk challenge, you are required to get all perks besides Deadshot in the order of PhD Flopper, which is purple, and ending off with Juggernog at the very end, which is red. I also can't just get all 8 of the perk slots, take it down, and then acquire them in the desired order because that's not really in the spirit of the challenge. So that means on round 6, after only a few Wonder Fizz spins, I got PhD Flopper pretty quickly actually. And I didn't really have any good guns by round 8, so I had to take down Poppy Panzer by using complete dumb luck and a KSG shotgun that I spammed in his general direction before buying a Claymore, saying fuck it, and bombing him out of existence. In all of this madness, I also built the Wind Staff for some protection because 2 hits in the game being over is kind of terrifying. It then took me until round 10 to actually get Electric Cherry, which is the next perk. I swear it's always the most common perk to get from the Wonder Fizz, but when the world needed it most, it vanishes just like the Avatar and my dad. Quick Revive was bought from the machine soon after this, and while I had some time on round 10, I began upgrading my Wind Staff. By round 12, Mule Kick was also purchased, and it's time to play Zombie Blood Roulette. To get the last 4 perks, I now need to acquire the Golden Shovel, pray for a quick zombie blood, and then scramble around the map looking for one red dig site that can appear at roughly one of 20 locations. Each time that I do find one, I get an extra perk slot. Hopefully that explains why it took until round 18 just to find the first one of those, and with that I was finally able to purchase some speed cola. That makes it kind of a shame though that I then took a down to the Panzer on round 20 to his stupid ass flamethrower, which basically insta-killed me. Fortunately though, I didn't game over, and with the zombie blood that I got in that said madness, another perk slot was found pretty quickly. After spending all of round 21 fending off zombies without any perks, I left one zombie and spent the next 20 minutes buying my perks back plus the addition of stamina. Round 23 brought us another perk slot and the surprisingly difficult addition of double tap to the arsenal. One more to go, and almost right fucking away I dug up a zombie blood, got the last perk slot, and finished off the first of our 3 challenges. Now up to this point I hadn't actually planned on doing the Easter egg, but I figured screw it, might as well, I've got a chance to make history here, let's get this bread. So I headed right into the crazy place, finished upgrading our Wind Staff, and headed back out to begin working on the other 3 staffs. First was the Ice Staff because I had all of the parts for it already, so I built it, googled the upgrade code because I still haven't memorized it in 9 years, collected the other pieces as I wandered around the map, and just kept going. When it was time to place the Ice Staff in the crazy place, I used the fire tunnel to get that crystal and began on working on that one simultaneously. Looking back, I should have done lightning third so the kill step could be done all at once, but I'm kinda stupid. Doing the fire cauldrons was stressful as hell because the fire staff is no longer one-shotting zombies on this round, but luck was shining on us and a lucky insta-kill made it easy peasy. Next few minutes was used to finish that one up, and now lastly it's time for the lightning staff, which went really smoothly because all of the dials besides one were done ahead of time and the pattern isn't really all that difficult actually. The next round was then used to get all of the kills to finish upgrading the last 3 of the staffs. A lot of people give the Wind Staff shit, and I'm just gonna say this, but out of every staff I feel the most comfortable with this one in a tight situation, and it kills forever just like the Ice Staff. Its only issue is ammo, but it's basically a thunder gun. I don't know why people hate it. But anyway, because I had ignored the Easter egg up until now, some basics needed to be handled for the next little while, such as filling up the soul chests around the map with zombie souls. Since we're in the late 20s though, it didn't take much time or effort to do it whatsoever. I grabbed my punchy punchies and swapped my Wind Staff for the Ice Staff so I could then do the melee kills at 2 separate areas. Like I said, this step is supposed to be melee kills, but you can cheese the shit out of it by shooting a charged Ice Staff shot and then holding out your shield. I did this again at the other location, and just like that we've got our G-Strike grenades. Our luck once again continued because it's time for the super annoying process of getting in the middle giant robot, pressing a button, and throwing the G-Strike at a small pad outside of the map. Like I said, this was lucky though because it only took me 20 minutes and a few attempts for me to do it correctly. Now I just have to toss the Maxis drone I built a little while ago into the hole and kill 7 Panzer Soldats that came out of it. A really clutch insta-kill here actually saved my ass, and we speed ran our way to the next step with getting a zombie blood, shooting down the plane, and killing the invisible zombie almost right after finishing off the Panzers. Seriously, I couldn't have scripted that any better. This was just absolutely speed running this Easter egg at certain points. Other times it was really slow, but this one just absolutely blew through. One of our last steps is to punch the white smoke covered zombies until a tablet falls out of them, and it only took a few minutes for this to happen thankfully, and by round 33 we've already done 95% of the Easter egg, which I will be finishing on round 100, and I've already done the reverse rainbow perk challenge. Now it's time to get to round 100, and I've only ever actually done this once before, and it was using a somewhat well-known glitch, if you really want to call it that, where you're allowed to hold 2 upgraded staffs. Not this time though, only 1 staff at a time, and I need to set myself a new personal best on this map. And in order to make that happen, I will be using the world record high round strategy of standing in this area behind generator 2. Ideally what will happen is that I will perform a mini charge shot on the ice staff and then pull out my claymores. The reason that you do this is, like earlier with the melees, it tricks the game a little bit. Zombies killed with explosives have a faster death animation than those that are killed with the ice staff. So when the claymore is being held out, the game thinks that you killed them with that claymore, thus speeding up the game and keeping zombies from reaching me and doing damage as often as they normally would. The only problem with this is that the amount of focus that it requires because of the ice staff mini shot only lasting for a few seconds is crazy, and if you get the timing wrong just a little bit, it can result in the fastest down you've ever seen. That actually happened to me on round 53, where I took too long getting the charge shot to work and was surrounded before my brain picked up on what actually happened. And because we've already done the reverse rainbow perk in this game, I ended up just getting the perks in whatever order I felt like from here on out. Because doing that after every down this late in the game is just tiresome and a death sentence honestly, and the round 100 is way more important than that. But like the good soldier I am, I got back on my horse by grabbing my perks and not backing down to the strategy, because even though I'm not great at it at all, this is my real only shot at round 100. Everything else is a lot slower and just is way less ammo efficient. Oh, by the way, if you're wondering what I did when insta-kills were active, I would throw a G-strike and lay down all 4 of my Semtex grenades. After that, I would just shoot wildly at whatever moves with my STG-44. Panzers are a bit different simply because I have no way of killing them instantly, and when that happens, I just run around the generator 2 area, not killing any zombies and just focusing my STG onto the Panzer until it dies. Sometimes though, like on round 56, it goes sideways and I have to make a completely insane lucky ass clutch to not take it down. I'm also not grabbing the Ray Gun Mark II because I've already spun the mystery box a couple of times this game, and if I do move it, then it begins to spawn fire sale drops, and that lowers the amount of max ammos that I'll get, which is super needed later on. The Boomhilda pistol is also not used by me here since its fire rate is just too slow for effective insta-kills, and I guess my fancy strats really didn't help in all of this because I took another down on round 58 by not realizing that I just didn't grab an insta-kill, so I kinda get my ass beat. This is also my 3rd down of the game, and that means no more quick revives from the machine itself. However, I am still able to get more from the Wonder Fizz, just at an extremely low rate even when I have the other 7 perks. Good for me though, it only took like 7 minutes to get a new quick revive, which is actually moderately quick. Our next little milestone is round 64, which means maxed out zombie spawn rates for the rest of the game, and that's always super poggers. Another down on round 67 kind of sucks because it was preventable, but once again quick revive showed up pretty quickly. Get it, I did the funny. Cringe aside, after another down on round 72, things after that went really smoothly for a very long time in this game. All the way up until round 83, where I ran out of ammo in my ice staff for the first time and needed to actually use the wind staff. And during this, I was training around full hordes in the bottom of the excavation site, which is extremely stupid and dangerous, but if a max ammo spawns, then I am actually able to grab the ice staff and get ammo for that. Sadly though, no max ammo came on 83, and not one on 84 either, so desperate times call for desperate measures. I need to run tank strat, which is basically just calling the giant tank over to generator 2, training in front of it so that an entire horde of zombies dies, and then do the same thing when you activate it heading back to the church area. It's somewhat simple, with the big challenge being to avoid the 24 new zombies that spawn, plus it's slow, but it's also very effective, so you can't argue with results. Good time to mention as well that I can't use the robot feat to do this because that also can cause crashes, and that's also why the fire staff isn't being used. Again, I would rather the game be slow over it being finished due to something stupidly preventable, but eventually after exhausting every single option that I could, I just had to bite the bullet and use my free max ammo from the chest on round 84, which is much earlier than I would have liked, honestly. Ideally, I would have grabbed it somewhere on round 95 plus, just as a final ace in the hole, but it is what it is, I guess. And in the next round, I did get some level of revenge on Origins, because in the beginning of the round, I went back to the excavation site and waited for a max ammo to spawn so I could refill my wind staff, and in only a few minutes it worked like a dream. By the time round 94 came around, I needed to do the same thing, but I wasn't even worried at all. I don't know if you guys do this as well, but sometimes you enter this weird headspace when playing zombies that everything slows down a little bit and it all seems so easy when you're playing. Maybe I'm crazy, but normally I would be shitting bricks at doing this, but nah, here, like, I was actually pretty calm and collected and it felt super easy. Even when I was down to my very last shot of staff ammo, a clutch max ammo came up, and I was never worried, honestly. Then, okay, maybe a little, I was kind of lying. But anyway, the game started to skip frames at this point, and my Xbox 360 is temperamental at the best of times, so slowing down to do the tank strat again kind of worried me. So pretty much any ammo from there on out was absolutely a godsend, and I got pretty lucky max ammo for most of the rest of the game. But you know what, it's finally that time. Around 99, here we are, gamers. Only one left to go, plus the Easter egg ending, so this should be easy, right? Well, no, just no. No. At the time when I was playing, I didn't realize how long this round was, but there's roughly 100 minutes left worth of footage to go through. Yeah, fuck me, apparently. So once I inevitably ran out of ammo, I started to run tank strat, but that was slow, so I began walking around the map looking for dig sites for max ammo. The problem with that is that in the bunker, I actually got distracted by something on my other monitor, jumped into a crate, and got trapped in the single most embarrassing way possible and took it down. Thank God that I escaped using a G-Strike, but now my pride's hurt and I need to spend time spinning the Wonder Fizz in very precarious locations for a quick revive on round 99. I know I said earlier that I was calm, but that's all gone now. My heart is basically beating out of my chest for the rest of this challenge, because failing something like this at the very last second, yes, it would be hilarious, but I just wanted an all-time banger to show you guys, and I was so nervous to fail it. And I know you're probably thinking, well, you got to round 100 anyway, it's in the title, so, you know, why were you worried? Well, I mean, it only took me an hour and 10 minutes to get quick revive and cost 120,000 points, so I shouldn't have been stressing whatsoever, right? I really want to cry. Good thing I didn't though, because once we did get it, nothing was going to stop me. 40 minutes of tank strat later, and guess what? Triple digits for the first time ever on Origins, and it just felt so fucking good, dude. But for as good as that felt, the job's not done yet though. We still need ammo and to finish this Easter egg, but luckily the zombies' heavens were shining down on me because the Templar zombies attacked generator 6, which means one thing, a free max ammo. There's one charge shot left in the wind staff, so I went down, grabbed that, headed over to the Templars who are now attacking generator 4 and blew them away, unveiling the most beautiful max ammo I've ever seen, which was immediately followed up by another max ammo, but we're going to ignore that. Now I need to move the staffs to the crazy place, and I kind of forget which tunnel had the gramophone teleporter, so I needed to waste a G-Strike escaping the wrong one. That's a bit of a whoops. And keep in mind that the staffs that I'm using either have no ammo, can't kill a zombie, or will crash the game, so I'm basically defenseless while doing this, and things can go very quickly wrong, like here where I didn't immediately sprint out of the tunnel and I got trapped, so I need to throw a G-Strike. And even though that was thrown, I was still trapped and needed to double back to the crazy place so that I didn't die. That scared the living shit out of me, by the way. But now that all of the staffs are in the pedestals and I have the Maxis drone, let's do the last Easter egg step of killing 100 zombies with all of the staffs in the pedestals. Oh wait, that actually kind of sucks. They all need to be in the pedestal at the same time? How the hell am I supposed to kill 100 zombies on round 100 without a staff? Well, I'm glad you actually asked, because once again, the glory of cheese is on our side. After a few minutes, I realized the wind staff actually picks up zombies after its main blast is finished, so basically all I needed to do is shoot ahead of the zombie horde, place down my wind staff back into the pedestal, wait for it to kill like 5 to 7 zombies at a time, then pick it up, rinse and repeat. All the while absolutely praying that I don't die or get trapped by the walls coming down around me constantly. I'm also out of G-Strike grenades, which means no escape if anything bad happens whatsoever. But slowly, one by one, I chipped away at the 100 kills, and even though I'm running out of ammo, I know it's possible if I just play as well as I possibly can right now. Maybe I could use the fire staff if desperately needed, but we're not going to, because with the very last shot of wind staff ammo, this last step was finished. Maxes went up into Agartha, I stepped on the pad, and completed the best challenge in the history of this channel. For more suffering, watch this video of my progress on reaching Master Prestige with no kills on Black Ops 3.